Near the crossroads of Highway 60 and 207 sits the town of Panhandle. Now, back on New Year's Eve in 1924, the Panhandle Inn opened its doors and was not only the center of town, but also a destination until it closed in 1970.
A tremendous amount of history, and at one point in time was the focal point of not just Panhandle, but the Panhandle, when Panhandle was the largest shipping freight on the Santa Fe line. And that was the heart and soul of the Panhandle, was Panhandle Inn.
This two-story, 54-room motel was the center of town off Main Street and included a post office, cafe, doctor's offices, bus terminal, and was often the location for local dances and social gatherings. But since it closed, it's been rarely used, and now the efforts to save the building and turn it into a usable space. And most of the town is pulling together to see it return to its original glory. People like Brad Fields, who grew up here, and says it's important to remember the inn and restore it.
It's a testament to the historians and the preservationist attitude that we have here, and you know, what a place to have our central location and meetings in the heyday when this thing was a mecca of business trade and cattle barons and railroad moguls. Man, what a place.
City Manager Rob Rhodes says main streets are usually the hearts of every town, and saving the inn for the future helps preserve its place in the past.
And the thing about it is you can build a new building any day of the week now. And if you find one that's structurally salvageable and you can preserve that piece of history for our community and for our kids to come look at, that's the great thing about it.
They've started receiving state and national grants for the project, and while there's not an exact total for the renovation, every little bit helps as they look at turning the shell of a building into office and retail space, apartments, and maybe even a restaurant. Even the high school is deeply involved, using the inn not only as a teaching tool from architecture and engineering to marketing and promotions. And Principal Jerry Schaefer knows it's part of the identity of the town, and it's important for students to be a part of it.
And in our school, I hope, could see the Panhandle Inn project and growth and development as a partner with the school.
There's no set-in-stone timeline for completion, and there's still a lot of fundraising and volunteer work yet to be done. But residents like City Commissioner and Board Member Bill McLeod knows it's worth saving.
It would be a beautiful place. As it sits now, it's just an old building, but it can be made the center of town again.
Home to a few birds and possibly other wildlife, the first steps have already been taken to breathe new life back into the Panhandle Inn. And with the support found all over the area, it probably won't be too long until the doors open back up for good. In the Panhandle Spirit in Panhandle, Steve Myers, Pro News 7.